Alright everybody, before my voice gets worse, we're going to do this video for the week. We're going to go over my generic thoughts on the Bounty Hunter and how Red Hook is doing with their roadmap. So obviously the Bounty Hunter's the next new hero. I would watch the trailer. We're not going to show the trailer. It doesn't really do much. So obviously you'll be able to hire the Bounty Hunter. He's not someone permanently on the roster. So unlike the core group of people, the Bounty Hunter wanders from end to end. So I think overall that's a great idea. It kind of sucks for early access people because it would have been kind of cool to have them in all the parties all the time, but like I said, that's a small nitpick because obviously people who buy the full game won't even know. They'll have 10 heroes, 10 or 11 plus the Bounty Hunter. I forget how many there are right now. So they also kept most of his same skills. He stresses out and all that stuff. You have to pay for him. Collect bounty, mark for death, come hither, uppercut, flashbang, finish him, cowl, drop. So the 4 new skills, we'll quickly go through them. Hurl, bat, range axe throw, heavy damage to burn target, ignores dodge. Stare down, designates monsters, apply weak tokens and clearing zone vulnerability. No escape, low damage, range throwing, stuns targets. That's pretty cool. It's an immediate stun. Bodyguard, provides cover for another hero. Okay. He appears to be I don't know if that's currently on him or whatever, but he does appear to be a little stronger from the get-go. Obviously the price, and then he has this stuff here, professional. The Bounty Hunter has a chance, I kind of wish they just told you right away, but that's okay, on a target when using a skill that would normally consume the combo token, it will not, a chance to not have it / refresh. So that's pretty cool. So like I say, he's pretty powerful. Altar of Hope update. I'm hoping that the Altar of Hope update, by the way, they did a very good job on how he looks. So, he looks like the first game, just a little more obviously decked out in the current stuff. You can't really tell too terribly much from here, how much HP he has and stuff. It doesn't say right here. Yeah, I kind of wish I knew how much HP he had, but that's okay. So yeah, if we go back to the roadmap, I'm going to assume maybe the progression system's actually the Altar of Hope update. I don't know if I missed that. These are, in theory, rather large patches. We are almost towards the end of September already, and the Bounty Hunter's not out yet. I'd be more than surprised if he doesn't come out Thursday or Friday this week. That would take us to the 21st or 2nd. I think definitely by near the end of this week, if not midweek, he'll be dropping. So we'll have the new hero by the end of September. That leaves us October, November, December, and January. And I'm not going to go into February. And the reason why I'm not going to go into February is that's when the game's releasing. They're not going to be doing content. They're going to be crossing their T's, dotting their I's, making sure the game's running effectively. It's kind of like writing a term paper. You don't really want to be adding new paragraphs right before you hand it in to the teacher. So pretty much the month of February, and depending where it's at in February, it could help, it could not help. Because if it's February 4th or 10th, just generically, they're actually going to probably lose about half of January. So they could have anywhere between 3.5 months to 4.5 months to add all new content. I don't know if the Axe will be as in-depth as the Shroud update, where it added a whole entire new area. That's rather intensive, and that means they would have to add 3 new areas. I actually think that's too many, because what would you be at, 7? It's a lot of areas. 7 areas. I think, they have 5 right now? No, they have 4. Well, they have the sluice, so it's 5. 5 areas. I think they could get away with 6. So if this one introduces the new and last area, these are just bosses with a little bit of gameplay updates, and they might be able to get to all of this in 3.5 months. Because if you think about it, in 4 months, this came out May 31st. We're practically at September 31st. Not quite, but we're just going to assume these happen by the end of September. So in 4 months, they did the trinkets, hero pass, cultist, progression system, new hero. I don't know. This might be 50 to 60% of the content, and the rest of this is just pretty quick. Or we may be experiencing a delayed release, because once again, it just says February 2023. hopefully, I guess I'll trust that they can definitely do the rest of this, because right now, Act 2 came out 7 months after the game came out. It's been 4 months practically since Act 2 came out. They can't really keep doing a 5-month schedule to keep acts coming out, because at that point 4 and 5 won't be out. So obviously they're going to increase their frequency of act release, but this is a lot of important stuff. Like, this is core, this is content. This stuff is like core gameplay. I mean, this is core gameplay right here too. So it's technically the act, but I mean, the relationship rework is massive. Driving improvements. I mean, some of the stuff's like hero original skins, like that should be quick. Pets, that should be quick. Secret mini boss should be quick. Driving improvements. I mean, do they just mean it drives smoother? Where they actually? It really depends. It's all generic, and honestly, I don't expect them to have paragraphs below what each one's gonna be, because they probably don't know, to be honest. They just know these are things they need to do, and then when they get there, they'll get there. My last thought on the heroes, kind of coming back to the bounty hunter. I'll spend about 2 minutes here, 2 to 3. I really think the last 2 heroes need to be strong functioning between positions 2 and 4, and also cannot be from the original game. I think it will be rather disappointing, to be honest, if you have 9 to whatever, 11, I forget how many, 10 to 11 of the total playable characters are all from the original game, and then you just have the runaway as the new hero. I'm not saying it's late. It's just, I don't know. It's Darkest Dungeon 2. I would have liked to see. I know everyone's going to be like, oh, they didn't put my hero in. Well, they're not. They're never going to put all the heroes in. I mean, there's what, 16 from the original? 17? I can't remember. They're not going to add all of them. So you're already going to make people mad by not adding all of them. So you might as well just make 2 new ones and be like, hey, we didn't add all the crowd favorites, but we made 2 new people, so like them, you know. So I'm really hoping Hero 2 and 3 are actually new and also are part of your core stagecoach. Like I said, I didn't mind the fact that the bounty hunter is the hireable. Just kind of sucks for the people in early access, because it's like, ooh, new hero that I can play at a fee. Once again, upon actual release, doesn't matter. Just kind of sucks for early access people. Big things they're going to have to nail is the relationship rework, and obviously each act is going to have to feel good. I don't know how much they plan on stuffing each act, because the only patch we can go off of is the Shroud patch, and that was massive. If they plan on doing that for each act, there's no way this comes out by February. That where they've been sitting on content, and they just want to like really heavy dump it between October and December. But I'm not quite sure why they would do that, because that gives them less time to fix bugs, do damage balancing. And also, I'd imagine around the holidays, December, late December, early January, you're going to have a lot of people out of the office to, obviously, holidays, visiting people, being sick in general. And when you're trying to work on a cohesive project like this, having people constantly in and out of the office, being sick, and maybe not being able to do their part, it's going to slow down work even more. So I'm really hoping that, like I said, Act 3, I think they could introduce a new area, but 4 and 5, I think they should just really just focus on a boss, make something a little different about the path, and that's it. And I think they will, because like I said, yeah, I don't think you actually want to convolute or make your game too diluted with so many like paths. I think you want to have just about 5 to 6 options and 3 choices per each time. I think that's plenty. I think that'll give people enough options, not option overload, and you don't have to worry about having all of those new enemies. I kind of wish that the pets, secret mini boss, her hero, I kind of wish these 3 things were just thrown out along with driving improvements. Just toss all of those out. Not saying that they wouldn't eventually be beneficial, but if you're trying to say this is coming out before February 2023, I mean, who cares about these 3 things, honestly? You're like, oh, secret mini boss. I mean, you already got the collector in here, right? So they already got the collector. I mean, I know it'd be fun, but you got the shambler, you got the collector. Just put these on hiatus. I'm not saying get rid of them. Just, you know, I think there's more important things than to do these 3 before Act 5. Now, once again, this could just be a generic list and not the actual order, though I do think, at least the way they put it, it's probably in order. So I'm not sure why you would focus on These three things, once again, they could take like a week easy. I don't know. But I'd rather have Act 5 sit above New Hero 3 and then go Secret Mini Boss and then these three things. I think they really should have just, once again, actually in driving improvements. Not to say that this is exact order they're going in, but so far, well, that's because they actually said next, so. But yeah, I'm guessing the Altar of Hope updates the progression system. I'll have to look into that when it finally drops. And then honestly, Act 3, I don't know. I'm assuming it'll be just a boss. If it's a brand new area, I think they gotta drop it early to mid-October. I mean, if they wait till the end of October at the earliest to drop Act 3, that leaves them November, December, and some of January to do 2 more acts and get new heroes. And then, yeah, it'll be tough. Because like I said, I think once you get to the winter time, I think it's going to screw up their stuff a little more. So, cool that the Bounty Hunter's coming out. Hopefully this stuff, these 4 items were like 50 to 60% of the content, and this stuff is just going to get pumped out because it's an intimidating list to get through. Hopefully they do it, because the last thing we would want to obviously see is for all of this to get pumped out to meet a date. If they really truly can't do it, they should either let people know now or just push out the date. I'm not saying they can't do it. It's just, like I said, when you look from May 31st to essentially September 31st, 4 months, this is all they've done. Now, I'm not saying it's insignificant. It's just you got your own date up here. And may I remind you, alright, this is the line. And I got made fun of for this, but if you add it, you can't really expect me to think your game's not working any faster. The number of people and working hours going into Darkest Dungeon 2 remains identical, but we are focusing on producing content that maximizes possible run-to-run impact to the quality of the game. I'm fine with that statement. It's just when you make that statement, this is how far we've gotten in 4 months, and another 4, which would essentially put us to almost the release date, I'm assuming we might be only to like here, right? Maybe at best we get a new hero. But I don't think we get to Act 5 at the current rate. So, yeah, another 4 months if we got down to here. I mean, I think that'd be about on par, to be honest. Because some of these things were pretty big, so some of these things are smaller. The relationship rework may be massive. Hopefully they already have an idea what to do about that. But I just wanted to give my thoughts about where they're at. Like I said, the Bounty Hunter seems cool. Just kind of wish he was part of the core unit, but that's okay. Upon full release, it won't even matter. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new Bounty Hunter.